Okay, let's talk Dorian Gray, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Simple plot points. What happened? How did it happen? But like, talk to me as if I've never read the book, but I need to at least prove to my professor that I read the book. And then maybe I will read the book. So that's how I'm gonna kind of tell you what happens. Hey, what's up? It's me, your girl Brianka J, and I'm back with another video for Book Talk. On this channel, we talk all things books. So that's literature, short stories, analysis, theory, you name it, English lit, and it's there. Um, if you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you. Please be sure to hit like, comment, or subscribe if you like this video. If you are here, check out the merch and check out the membership options. Other than that, let's get into it. I want to talk about The Picture of Dorian Gray. And honestly, I recorded this video 2 different times. So third time's a charm. Yeah, but we're gonna get right into it. So the book is set in like 1890s. I don't know. It was published in 1897, but it's set in like 1890s ish. So actually, this book was written while your boy Oscar Wilde was in exile because he was charged with homosexuality and was like he had to move to France because that's a big no-no. So there are a lot of subtle homosexual elements in this work. But basically, it has 3 major characters. You have Basil Hallward, you have Dorian Gray, you have Lord Henry Wotton. I am not going to be saying Lord Henry Wotton 3 times. We're just going to call him Lord Henry. That is easier for me to do. So basically, you see Dorian Gray. He's 19. He's handsome. He has no imperfections. Like, think of the most sexy man you know, and then that's Dorian Gray. So Dorian Gray is super handsome. He comes to London and he starts trying to rub elbows with the bourgeois. First person who befriends him is our guy Basil Hallward. Basil Hallward is he's famous, right? But he's like very like chill. Like he don't be on the scene like that because he's actually there because he has talent. Like a lot of people hang with the bourgeois because they have money. Basil hangs with them because he's very talented. He's a painter, and people know him because he's like an incredibly good painter. But in turn of that, he's also pretty introverted because he doesn't really. Well, one, what would he even talk about with them most of the time, like right? But also he wants to work on his paintings. But sometimes he comes out and like says hello and da 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 da. He sees Dorian and he's like, Dorian, look, I ain't never seen nobody like you. Can I at least paint you? Dorian's like, yeah, sure, yeah, you can paint me. Yeah, totally. And in essence of being painted, he actually gets to meet Basil's good friend, Lord Henry. Lord Henry comes, and Lord Henry is the perpetual devil that sits on our shoulder, always telling us the wrong thing to do. Like, if you have a friend who's always like, yes, let's take your mom's car. Yes, let's blow off her homework. Yes, let's like, let's like do insert terrible acts and deviance, whatever it is, right? Lord Henry is consistently encouraging like poor and nasty behavior. It's what he does. It's who he is. But one aspect of Lord Henry's behavior that always struck me was Lord Henry does not actually commit these actions. He talks the talk, he influences, and he makes these tongue-in-cheek comments. But the book also says that he has a pristine reputation. So there's no dirt on our boy. Like he makes people uncomfortable, but there's no dirt. Nothing to prove that that Lord Henry acts like this. However, Dorian is intrigued. Dorian loves everything your boy Lord Henry is saying. And he also loves the painting so much that in the early stages of the book, he wishes that he will never age and his beauty and youth will retain itself forever. Weird wish. Very naive. He's only 19, so of course he probably would think that beauty and youth is all that matters. And then of course the Lord Henry is telling him so. But we quickly learn throughout the book that this is not the case. We have Dorian going around London, East End to West End. I mean, bourgeois to meth dens, doing everything under the sun. And they pretty much say he's doing all these sinful things and he's ruining the reputation of a lot of young men, which I take to mean that he's having like these homosexual relationships with, but Oscar Wilde never really reveals all his dirty secrets. He just lets us know that if you stand by Dorian Gray too long, your reputation is ruined in like proximity to his. So like that's how nasty this guy is. He hangs out in meth dens, he hangs out in dirty gambling halls, he drinks, he does drugs, like anything you could think of. Like he also enjoys ruining the reputation of pretty reasonable women. Okay, so he's doing all of this to the point that people are like not even believing. Like it's like unbelievable. Basil actually comes to him and like I want to pull up the actual words, but Basil actually approaches him and confronts him on his actions. Okay, here's the quote. I'm so sorry. So it's just in chapter 12. And he said, they say you corrupt everyone with whom you become intimate, and that it is quite sufficient for you to enter a house for shame of some kind to follow after. I don't know whether it is so or not. And then the reader discovers Basil's own conflicting feelings surrounding his friend Dorian. The reader is also given a window into Basil's misconceptions surrounding Dorian and his vices, which one cannot conceal. He says, I can't believe them when I see you. Sin is a thing that writes itself on a face. It cannot be concealed. Basil firmly states that had Dorian actually been a man of sin, we would have been able to see it upon his friend's face. That's wrong. It's in a painting. However, unbeknownst to Basil, the reader is aware that Dorian's face has been changing accordingly to his immoral actions. Yet he is not his physical face, but rather a representation of Dorian and not the real person of Dorian. Okay, anyway, so Basil confronts Dorian. He's like, look, everybody that sees you realizes that you kind of are a reputation ruiner, but I can't even believe it. When I look at you, all I see is beauty. And so it's hard for me to reconcile your actions with your actual physical state. It's weird to me. And Dorian kind of like, everybody has heaven and hell that lives within them. Okay, flash forward. Dorian is like, yo, different story. That painting I made is one of my best works, and I really need it because I have this really incredible opportunity to go show my paintings, and I need some money, and so I need to see that painting. Give it here. Dorian's like, oh yeah, by the way, I can't give you that because as we know, but Basil doesn't know, every nasty immoral action that Dorian commits is being captured in this painting, so the painting is grotesque while Dorian is like a Roman statue. So he's like, no, I can't give you the painting. Basil's like, you can and you will. Like, I need it. So I don't know what your problem is, but give me the painting. Dorian's like, I'm not going to keep arguing with this old man. So you know what I'll do? I'll show him what I'm saying. So he takes Basil to the painting, reveals it, and Dorian is horrified, like disgusted. He's like, oh my God, everybody bow your heads. We must pray. We need to repent. We need to atone for our sins. We have done bad. Dorian's like, that does sound good, but I'm not necessarily ready to face the consequences of my actions. So I won't be repenting or atoning. Instead, I'll be murdering you because someone needs to keep my secrets. Yeah, you got to get up out of here. Dead to you. You're dead to me. Dead. Kills Basil and then returns to life like nothing happened. Almost like what he does with Sybil when he breaks Sybil's heart. Sybil kills herself and he returns to the theater like nothing happens. For whatever it is, Dorian is able to kind of compartmentalize his life. These major events that are happening around him, he doesn't feel a connection to. He doesn't feel a responsibility for. He does not mourn the death of Sybil. He does not mourn the death of Basil. He just feels like it is what it is. Even though people's lives are being ruined when they're around this man, he doesn't seem to take it in or feel a need to atone in any way, which is kind of strange. I wonder, is he a psychopath? like, I guess he would be considered like a modern day like psychopath. Like, this man just doesn't care about how he makes people feel and what happens to them. And just doesn't take responsibility. Like, he has no responsibility of his actions. Anyway, Basil, as I said, is a well-known guy. People start to look for Basil Howard, and Basil is gone. Lord Henry, who has always been a friend to Dorian, is like, yo, have you seen Basil? Like, Basil, our good friend Basil. And Dorian's like, oh yeah, I killed him. Lord Henry, upon Dorian's confession, does not believe what he's hearing, because no, you did not. Lord Henry, for all his worth, has been like, again, making these crazy, audacious like ideas and theories and fantasies. But if you listen to if you listen to Basil Howard, you'll find that he's a great husband. He has a pristine reputation. He doesn't do this stuff. So he's shocked by Dorian's confession, and he like doesn't believe him on sight. Like, why would you kill Basil? Like, Basil's a good guy. Basil's quiet. Yeah, I say crazy stuff, but I don't do it. Are you insane? And Dorian's like, I am insane. I did kill him, and I don't feel away. But with time, Dorian does start to feel away. He starts to look at the painting, and he starts to feel like disgusted. Everybody's aging. Like, everybody's gotten older. Dorian has not. But he's looking at the painting. The painting has gotten older. The painting has gotten uglier. The painting is grotesque. And he realizes that his soul is being captured in this painting. And he is embarrassed, and he's disgusted, and he's haunted. Mostly, forget the embarrassment and disgusted. He's haunted. He's haunted by looking at this painting. And he's like, oh my God, can I clean up my act? Can I be a better man? Apparently, no. He does some small little things, but no, you can't. You need to fix it. In his series of being haunted and disgusted with himself, he ends up stabbing the painting. He stabs the painting, and in turn, he stabs into his own soul, and that is how Dorian Gray dies. Dorian Gray dies because he just can't bear the sight of who he truly is and kills himself. He also kills Basil Howard because he can't have anyone know his secrets. I would say he's also responsible for the death of Sybil Vane because he's so... that name is interesting now that I say it more than once. But he's killed... But that's just me. Anyway, this is Book Talk with Bianca J. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.